Glad you're still here with us. Generating companies record revenue shortfall by 50% as remittances from electricity distribution companies decline. This is according to industry data. The statistics show that DISCOs were unable to pay GENCOs full payment for the quantity of power generated in January 2022. And as a result, the generation companies recorded a 50% revenue shortfall. A breakdown of the data shows that although the 26 generating plants submitted an invoice totaling approximately 72 billion naira, DISCOs were unable to remit only 37 billion, putting the percentage drop in payment to GENCOs to 50%. The 11 utility firms collect electricity tariffs on behalf of the Nigerian electricity supply industry, after which it shares payment with the GENCOs and the transmission company. Well, for further analysis, I have Dayo Ekundayo, is the publisher Energy Times. He joins me via the telephone now. Thank you for coming on board. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, and good morning to you all.
Yeah, good morning. Well, yes. So if you look at this data, DISCO's payment to GENCOs dropped by 50%, and the statistics show that DISCOs were unable to pay GENCOs full payment for the quantity of power generated in January. So let's get your opinion on this.
Okay, thank you very much. As I usually say, the Nigerian state power is in a very state of comatose. And except, I don't know whether God can intervene, because the government has intervened in many ways and it has failed. And I don't know the magic anybody can do to revive the sector. Let me start this way. Yes, 50% shortfall, which is even expected. Actually, if you look at the apathy on the part of the consumer, it's very great, due to the fact that there is no adequate power supply to the national grid. Now, the one they said they couldn't pay 50% and all those things. Now, if you recall, in January we had the number of national grid failure, and as a result of that, many people didn't have light for almost 2 or 3 weeks. Now, even some GENCOs now, up to this moment, they are appealing to their consumer to even pay. I mean, you are asking consumer to pay for money for electricity that they didn't consume. How on earth that people can be so encouraged to pay? I can tell you, this is month of June. The shortfall will be more than 50%. I mean, the shortfall, I'm even anticipating that there will be more shortfall in the month of June. Possibly maybe 40 or 30%. So, I mean, that's 50. Maybe you can have almost half of what they say they have now, because there is no light. Nobody can say, or almost fully say they have 12-hour power supply. And part of the analysis net gives to DISCO is in the when they are doing capping, for those who doesn't have meter, was that they must supply them 12 hours power supply. Up to this moment, no consumer can boast in anywhere in this country that they are enjoying 12-hour power supply. And how do you now encourage people to pay?
Now, let me quickly come in, Mr. Ekundayo.
Even look at gas supply. Gas supply, the consumer, I mean, the gas supplier is saying that you must pay for GENCO to get the gas. They have to pay ahead before they get this thing.
Let me just come in, Mr. Ekundayo. I want us to be clear on this. Your position is that DISCOs were unable to remit what they were supposed to pay to GENCOs because the consumers couldn't also pay because there was no supply in the first place.
Yes, and they have to pay their workforce. They have to pay their workforce. The little money that is coming in, I can tell you this is what I know very, very well. The little that is coming in, they have to take care of what they have as their workforce. And don't they take almost 80% of this money. Now, in order not to inject it to the workers, that's why all these things will continue to happen. And if care is not taken, consumer, because people have already shifted to generator. and they are spending more. And look at diesel now. Diesel is almost 1,000. Now, even fuel we are using. If you get it at 165, we are lucky. Even in Lagos here, the average price they are selling in Lagos is 180, between 180 and 200. Everything is too expensive for consumer to bear. Now, you are bringing in 30,000 naira from power supply that didn't come. Maybe once in 1 week. Now, you are asking consumer to pay 30,000. How on earth can that person pay ahead? Please, the system is in a serious comatose. And I don't know, but from all the money the federal government has spent on the GENCO and DISCO through the CBN, I don't know what is happening. And I will tell you many of these things. Some of these GENCOs, some of these DISCOs don't even have capability to even collect this money the consumer are on there. For instance, look at Ibadan. Ibadan is in Ibadan where we are, where we know. It spreads to the Niger State. How on earth can an individual or a company supervise a large mass of land, of people, and you want to collect money, you want to say you are generating money, you are distributing power. How on earth can you monitor and ensure the state of power to these people are constant? These are the challenges. Until, look at even Lagos. Lagos is big, big. Now, look at, we have only 2 DISCOs. In Ikeja alone, Ikeja spread to almost Ogun State. Now, look at Eko spread to Badagry. So, these are the challenges. How many people will they now? The issue of people are bypassing meter and all these things. There is no way in anywhere in the world that doesn't happen. It's now dependent on the DISCOs to develop technology that can detect all these faults. And these are the way they are losing money, losing revenue, and those are the reasons why they can't meet up with payments. Yes,
okay.
They are giving them power. They are costing all this power. But some of this power are getting lost on the midway. These are all challenges. But what we are seeing and what we are likely to see in the next few weeks or few days before the end of the year is that some DISCO will not be able to meet up with index payments. That's what we are likely to see.
So by implication, it's more like the system is collapsing gradually. But let me come to the issue of...
The system is collapsed.
Okay.
Honestly, if we are deceiving ourselves, we say it's collapsing gradually. The system is already collapsed. It has collapsed.
Let's talk. Okay.
Generate power. And now, DISCO says, they don't want to take. Because where you take this power to, it doesn't belong to them. They are taking power to wrong places. Now, a little they have, there is a people tapping from there. Now, no monitoring, no technology to detect all these things. Everybody just after money. No equipment to detect some of these faults. Now, especially the last time they were complaining that people are now recharging. They were not recharging their meter. Now, when they are not recharging, what have you done to take this trend to arrest people, to punish people that are stealing your power? All these things are not there.
Now, let me come in quickly, Mr. Kundayo. Apart from the fact that the customers even didn't, when unable to pay for electricity, or apart from what the distribution company also supply to consumers. Now, one argument is that consumers cannot even pay for what they didn't consume. That's one argument. The second argument is that how come the GENCOs will demand so much from a distribution company when they didn't generate such to distribution company, and by extension, then distribution companies can also transfer or supply consumers as well for consumption. Now, is that what is missing here? How do you reconcile this complexity?
No. You see, there is no way GENCO will charge DISCO for power supply they didn't give. No. There are measures, there are ways to get to know this is the amount of power sent to this particular DISCO. It is that amount they charge. And even DISCO, if you look at how DISCO are charging where there is no meter, there is a central system on the meter, on the transformer. Where they measure that certain quantity of power distributed to a certain community.
Pardon me for coming in. Mr. Akuna, pardon me for coming in. Just to be clear, if you said there is no way, the generating companies will require or request for remittances from the distribution companies for what they didn't generate in the first place. I mean, you talk about the fact that there was not even power in the first place for consumers to consume. So we're trying to, understand the complexity here between the relationship between the generating company and the distribution companies, and then of course where the distributors will also have to transfer or supply consumers as well. I mean, help us understand these balances.
Okay, let me explain. Let me just share this thing with you, sir. You see, there is no way, as I said, generation company will build disco for power they didn't take. Let's get that one clear. There is no way GENCOs will build disco for power they didn't supply to them. It is the power, it is between disco and consumer that the challenges are. And all the challenges, some of them are bypassing. That is the truth. Some of them are bypassing. Some people tap power from home without being metered. Are you getting me, sir?
Yes. But is it possible now? Just a moment. But is it possible?
Yes.
Yeah. But is it possible for the distribution companies to receive this power and store it without supplying the consumers?
Power is not stored. Power is not stored. You know, corruption is everywhere. You can't tell me that the whole population of Nigeria or the population of electricity consumers are 10.5 million. These are the only number of people they have metered. Other people are unmetered. Now, how do you now gauge what they consume? They gauge it through estimation. Some people are being billed exorbitantly that will become a burden on them. They don't even pay at all. Now, when you come to the house to disconnect, once they keep the disconnector with 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira off the go. And that has been the case in many places, especially in rural area, even in the city here. And I'm telling you categorically, there is no way disco will build, there is no way GENCO will build disco. It's something I know very well. That they will ask them to pay money that the power they didn't take. They take power. The unfortunate place is between the disco and the consumer that I said earlier. There are illegal collection everywhere. There is illegal bypass. Some people have suffered with their prepaid meter. These are all the losses. I'm not defending them. But these are all the reasons why some of this power are escaped from the disco at hand. There is no way disco is store power. Power is just a truth. It goes as it's coming, it's going. You can't stop power. Power cannot be stored. Once you generate it, it has to go to the grid. And the grid has to be consumed by the consumer.
So in other words, the discos will have to tidy up their house to ensure all the loopholes.
Yes, the problem is with the disco. They need to develop technology that will help them to detect fraud among their members, among their staff, who disconnect and reconnect illegally with them. They have to have that technology that will detect from their office who is consuming their power without pay. All these things are done abroad. This thing is not just because you are just coming up with prepaid meter. Benin Republic here, actually every home has a prepaid meter. In fact, you can't even see home in Benin Republic here that doesn't have prepaid meter. The prepaid meter is like a man, is somebody a bride to us here in Nigeria. And that's why people are desperately needed this school. Some people need meter. Some people say they don't even need meter. And I can't blame whoever say they don't need meter. Because where is the power by itself? No power, nothing. In my office, I can tell you, the beginning of this month, you don't have right for 12 hours. If you calculate from January to June 1st to now, we don't have up to 12 hours in this thing. I don't know if they will bring 200,000 naira for us to pay.
Now, how do we address going forward now? How do you think these, disparities and differences be addressed? How do you think it should be addressed?
Life is already step up action on it. There was a test the chairman addressed the press 3 or 4 weeks ago, where he stepped up action. Where, for instance, as from July 1, he said we'll be having they will be generating up to 4,500 megawatts, which we are sure that it will ensure at least a stability in the power sector. But the issue is that the DISCO have to tidy up their own side of it, because the DISCO is the next to the consumer, and most of what we are having now is between consumer and DISCO, and we have corrupt people in DISCO. There are so many. Everybody is desperately looking for money. I've seen a situation where they even connect your meter, they are collecting money from you. To connect the meter you have paid for, they will collect money from you because it's giving them before they install it. So the corruption is the major problem. 1, 2, the DISCO have to tie up whatever they are doing to ensure that they have a good technology that can discover some of these faults on the consumer side. And once they do that, you will see that there is a reduction in some of these things. Now, the NEC is already taking up some of these challenges. They are going to have something in their office where they will be monitoring what goes to each of the consumers. Because they are going to have what GENCOs supply to DISCO, what DISCO distribute to the outside. So if the meter, if the cost they give to particular.
Hello, Mr. Cowdy. Oh my, I think we just have to wrap up. Thank you so much, Mr. Cowdy Ekundayo. Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Cowdy Ekundayo. He's a publisher at Energy Time. Thank you for your time on Business Breakfast.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.